Hey guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today we're going to be talking about a really cool little airsoft springer that happens to be semi-auto, which is just such a weird feature. But it's this little thing, Tokyo Marui Glock 26 semi-auto springer. I didn't know it existed. I'm sure most of you out there probably didn't know it existed, but we're going to talk a little bit about it. About how it shoots, what the performance is like, where you can use it, where you can't use it, all that good stuff. But before we get into it, I do have a couple of things to say. To anyone who's been following the channel, I do a lot of stuff on my MWS, and I've ordered the OMG DITAC Law Tactical folder. So that's on its way to me at the moment, and I'll be doing a fitting video as soon as that arrives, which I'm very, very excited about, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But we'll have to see what the postage is like on that. Also, to anyone that maybe missed the announcement, Tokyo Marui are doing a gas blowback shotgun in the form of a Saiga 12K. Very, very cool. Kind of preferred that we got a SPAS or something, but you know what? We'll take it. I've been waiting for a gas blowback shotgun for the longest time, so it's so upsetting. All you ever see is M870s. You never even see a Mossberg. Why? Where's the Mossberg? Where's the 500s? Anyway, enough about that. So yeah, MWS update, Saiga 12K. If you haven't checked out Tokyo Marui's channel, they've got some footage of it actually shooting as well. It looks incredible, so we'll have to wait for the details of that to come out. And also, in other TM related news, the AKM is available for pre-orders everywhere, and I've been waiting for this for quite a long time, ever since November 2019. So I've got my pre-order in, so expect an early review or an early look at the AKM GBBR by TM. So that's going to be pretty cool. So right, yeah, if you sat through all that, right, your prize is we get to talk about this, one of the cheapest guns in airsoft. So this is about, this was bought for me as a gift by a friend, so I shouldn't have looked up the price, but I wanted to be able to let you guys know how much they cost. They're about 20 quid. So what you actually get with that is you get a detachable 17 round magazine, and inside the gun it'll actually hold 11 BBs. So as soon as you put the mag in and half pull the trigger, like 11 BBs will get loaded into the gun, and then you'll only have 6 in the mag. So you actually have to like refill the mag again before you start shooting. Now the way that this works is it'll only engage the system when the magazine's inserted. There's like a little flat piece on the top that has to be pressed in, but until then, it's completely inert trigger, and there's actually nothing in this. Although there are BBs in the gun, it won't shoot. But that's how the action actually works. So a little bit of take up, and then pressure, click. Am I actually going to talk about the brake on this? I can't believe I was talking about that. Yeah, it's sloppy all the way through. It clicks when it's fired. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the construction. So they've actually bothered to create a bit of a two-tone effect, and they've got a kind of different plastic for some of the fiddly bits and the pins, and everything on here is completely inert. The only working parts is the trigger, basically. I'm going to take the mag out because it's a bit easier. But they did bother to mark it up. They did bother to put like 9x19, and they also did this side as well. Obviously a moulded in extractor. Obviously the slide doesn't move, and you'll probably notice there's a screw there, and one here, and there's another one down here. You've got the ASGK markings. There's another screw, a couple just here. So essentially it is just clamshell together, and if you look at it front end, you can see the big seam line down the front. What's more telling is when you turn it onto the top, and you can see the seam line running all the way down it, and all the way down the back. So yeah, and in there you can see the white bit. That's actually a BB that's being held in there. So it won't actually fire, it won't do anything because the magazine is not inserted. And even when it is, there aren't enough BBs in this mag to push any up through the system. So currently completely inert, just a very, very plasticky, very lightweight kind of paperweight. However, Tokyo Marui did bother putting a hop up in it, which is impressive. They set it for a 0.12 gram BB, and you actually get a little bag of 0.12 gram BBs with the gun. And to be honest, they're the only ones that I'd ever suggest using in it, because they're actually, normally when you apply a 0.12 gram BB, they're very, very poorly moulded, so there'll be seam lines running all the way around the edge. That can not only rip your hop-up rubber or damage your gun, but also when they're producing them, they don't care. They know that they're going to be run through really cheap, rubbish airsoft guns, so that's why they don't care about the manufacturing process. You can buy Tokyo Marui 0.12 gram BBs that are polished, if you really want to. But that's going to kind of bring me on to the most important thing about this. Because it can only really hop 0.12 gram BBs, you can't use it on any sites, certainly not in the UK. The reason is, basically, sites have insurance. The insurance will be for a 0.2 gram BB upwards. I've not come across any sites where they will let you use a 0.12 gram BB. They shatter too easily. It's just not worth it. There's too much risk of injury. So as far as actually being able to take this out, despite the FPS that it shoots, you can't use it. Basically, it's not a usable Springer. So if you were to buy a normal Springer, which I'm sure we're all used to, where you would have to rack the slide with each shot, you can get some sort of like 200, 250 FPS shots out of one of those guns. This isn't quite the same. So on a 0.2 gram BB, which is what we would normally use in most guns, or 0.25s, but for a 0.2, this is shooting about 40 to 45 FPS. That gets you about 2 or 3 meters of range, so it probably wouldn't shoot across your living room. However, if you drop in a 0.12 gram BB, your FPS is going to be between 70 and 80, and you're actually going to get sort of about 5, maybe even 6 meters of range. It'll actually hop the BB and float it a bit, so you do actually get a hop-up effect with this gun, which is really impressive. I genuinely didn't expect it to be a performer, and ultimately I would say it's not a performer because you can't take it out. The only thing you can do is sort of play with it in your living room. However, if you are going to play with it, still use eye protection. When I was testing the FPS earlier, I still put an eye protection because it's just not worth it. 70, 80 FPS may not sound like a lot, but your eyes are, you only get one set, so always be really careful when you're doing this kind of stuff. But I would say it's probably the only airsoft gun that you can shoot at things that aren't, it's nothing will get damaged. It's apart from your eyes possibly, but it's very, very, very weak. But that inherently makes it, it's a bit more fun. But so that's it. That's all I really had to bring you today. Like I said, there are, as I said at the start, there are some things in the pipeline. So there are some things going to be coming through to the channel, and anyone that's thinking about going out and playing in the next few weeks, I'm going to be over at C3 Tactical for their England versus Wales game, which is happening in a couple of weeks' time, I think. So I need to get my calendar straight, but I think it's about 2 weeks' time, on the 23rd-ish of July. So anyone that's missing out on NAE this year, which I am and have for the last couple of years, this might be a fun alternative, and I'm going to be there, and yeah, it should be good. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.